So, the influences of Hindu knowledge and thought on the rest of the world are because they go through this digestion. Therefore, we forget where these things came from, because these are mapped and because they are decontextualized from the Hindu source and recontextualized as Judeo-Christianity, Western Enlightenment, Western science, some new kind of a jargon, new kind of terminology. Because that happens, therefore, future generations don't even know where it came from. So, a friend of mine, an Indian doctor, 10 years ago, comes back very excited from one of these medical things where they have learned mindfulness meditation to cure some things in his field, and I told him this is Vipassana, and he was very angry because you mean what his grandfather was teaching, you mean he's come to United States, he's gone to Harvard, gotten a degree and went all the way somewhere and paid a lot of money and learned this mindfulness, got certified, and now he's certified to cure people using a certain thing, and this Rajiv Moroza tell him the same thing, that some regular stuff that his grandfather used to do. He's very insulted, very insulted. And I had to argue with this guy that this is mindfulness meditation. John Kabat-Zinn learnt it from Goenka, and in the early days used to credit him, and learnt it from other people also, many sources. And then he started the Mindfulness Institute, then he started gradually the acknowledgement became a footnote, then it became an endnote, then it disappeared, then he started saying he's gone ahead of it, and so on. I gave many examples of this. So, the history of the Indian origin of an idea gets erased, and when it's discovered and by the Westerner reformulated, that person is named the pioneer, the discoverer, and the history begins with him. And that's why you are told that America was discovered in 1492. So when I go to this museum in New York, the Natural History Museum, and then I used to go with the school where my kids went, and they used to always say, this is in America, discovered it. So I used to say, you think there are people who lived in America for 10,000 years and not discovered it. But then there is a history of this idea of discovery. There is a doctrine of Christian discovery. You should search. Just search doctrine of Christian discovery, and you will find that in the 1400s and 1500s, the Vatican was asked, who owns all these lands that we are discovering? We say we have discovered on behalf of the church, because church claimed to own God's property. Church was God's franchise. So God had created the franchise, so everything belongs, and so they're going around claiming this franchise. And so when a person discovered, they would discover it on behalf of the church, and so the question was, who owns it and what not. So there were a lot of papal bulls, a lot of popes. Papal bull was like a decree, like you would say fatwa. It was Vatican fatwas, papal bull, that's what they were, absolute decrees. And in these decrees it clarified that discovery, when a Christian sent by the Christian church stakes claim, that is a moment of discovery. In other words, discovery happens when we find something. Yeah? Until then it's not really discovery. So that is the doctrine of Christian discovery. And some federal cases were fought in the United States with Native Americans, claiming that, look, this belongs to us. And this doctrine of Christian discovery was used in these arguments, cited. You search doctrine of Christian discovery, you will find thousands of pages of case history in the United States also on citing this sort of proof of discovery because of this papal bull that said that discovery is when Christians discover it. So now in the Enlightenment era, Christian discovery is replaced by, when your patent lawyer files the case, files a patent, it's called discovery. So this notion of ownership and who has discovered it is now this neuroscience is sort of the discovery of mindfulness meditation, and all the other traditional things that go with it.